Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Commodities Update video. And today we'll be looking at technical analysis on natural gas, UNG, oil, US dollar, gold, and silver. So we'll be looking at their support and resistance levels as well as the most likely scenario price we're heading into later next week. And if you guys learned anything, video like, share, and subscribe, or head over to YouTube and support the channel. Let's get started. So we're looking at natural gas on the 8-hour time frame, and make sure to click BADJ, which is adjusting for the contracts, so you don't get these contract gaps all over the place. All right, let's take a look. So for me, pretty much we are probably going to form a 8-hour equilibrium. Equilibrium means just a tightening range, and just means that the next move is usually within the prior move. So big move up, big move down. Bulls pretty much need to hold support above this level for that equilibrium to form. So that's how we bounce again. We likely won't get over that. We'll just kind of like tighten up. How much it tightens up, nobody knows. But at least for now, if bulls can hold above this 2.5 level where we gapped up from, then it's a good chance that we may form some kind of a tightening range before it wants to break out of that range. And currently, the level for me is pretty clear. Bulls need to hold this level, which is the prior resistance. You can see we tested this level at least like 7 times there and a couple times here as well. And we finally broke up out of it, and now we're back testing that, so we need to bounce from there. That's what I said on the weekend video. We pretty much need to bounce from there, and we got a gap up, but we didn't really get over any resistance. So you can see we're still below this high low, and as long as we're not over that, it's probably going to be forming that tiny range. So let's say we bounce here, and we might just get that tiny range. If not, if we flush through here, then that's definitely a red flag for me. And we're probably going to retest the lows if we flush through this support, because all we have is the structure below us, and there's not much below us. So flush through here, we're looking at potentially 2.44, and if we break below that, I'm looking at closer to 2.3 range, and then it's just pretty much the all-time low if that happens. If that breaks, then we're looking at the pretty much this diagonal looking line that they kind of changed it for me, but it'll be lower than that if we break the lows. That'll be a huge red flag. But so now that's still super far, so we don't want to be projecting random price targets. That's all the way down there, and currently that I'm looking at is that tiny range. See if it shaped up anything on the 1 hour for it to bounce here. Not really, but we do get a slight bounce, but this is not enough for me. If we get a slight hourly uptrend here, then that tiny range is going to become more probable for me. That big move up, big move down thing. As for now, no signs of any bounce yet, other than this little bounce here. So tomorrow, bull's job, get a bigger bounce, set a higher low, and then set a higher high, and that would give us a chance to get that tiny range. Bear's job is to form that bear flag, continue, drop, break below this 2.52 low. That'll be a big bear break that happens, and go from there. We'll see what they do tomorrow. UNG, similar idea. So let's go back to the 8-hour. Let's take a go at 1 hour as well. Yep, similar tiny range. You can see big move up, big move down. We filled the gap too, pretty much to the T, and bulls bought that gap fill. So now it's the bulls' job to bring it back up, because if we get that gap fill and then bulls try to bounce and it's a weak bounce, then bears are gonna bring it lower. As for the probability, the nature of natural gas, they really like to swing to extreme both ways. So that's why they did exactly on this big bounce. You can see we just kind of went all the way down. So, and the same thing here, big bounce, we came all the way down here. And if they don't hold here, we're just gonna come from a daily downtrend, and it's probably gonna head lower. So similar idea, that level needs to hold for the bulls for us to potentially say we got a chance to break out of this longer term resistance. So pretty much needs to hold here. Let's say we tighten up a little bit here, and next thing you know, we have a chance to striking distance to break out of that. But if we get another leg down, then we are going to be too far to break out of that. It'll be a similar idea here. How be too far. By the time we get here, bull's already tired. So we don't want it to be too far from the striking distance of where we want to break out from. And yeah, that's the idea of it. Because if we ran a marathon, we literally just ran a marathon and we got to break through a wall. You probably don't have the energy to break through a wall at a time. But if we consolidate for a very long time, take a lot of rest, and then now we need to break a wall, then there's a good chance we can break out of that. So better for the bulls to hold this level than try to break it. Once we get a bear break, they try to consolidate down here and they try to break here again. They need a lot higher move. All right. If you guys want to learn more about technical analysis, go to my Patreon page, and there's a link there for one-on-ones. And if you guys want to just check it out, there's a 15-minute free call link as well, and make sure you check that out. Or if you want to support the channel, it's all in the Patreon link. If you just want to, donate, support the channel, free channel, coming out on Discord if you guys want to as well. All right, oil. So we finally broke out the megaphone. We're looking on this megaphone forever. This is the resistance. This is support, and you can see that bear break right there. Once we broke through that, we drop. So we can delete this megaphone now. And so once that megaphone broke, it brings bear volume. Plus, we broke through this support. It was resistance, resistance, resistance becoming support. Bounce off of here, becomes support. Now, when it breaks through that support, there's going to be even more bear volume coming. See, we have 2 days of red. So that is where we're at. Now we're back to this big, tiny range. So the reason bull bounced here is pretty obvious because you can see right at this spot. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Pretty much perfect at that spot. And now it's acting support. So prior resistance, now acting support. So we get a weak bounce here, and then we come up closer to this prior breakout range, rejects from there, and then we're likely going to head a little bit lower to this bottom of the structure, which would be closer to the $68 range. Yeah, bears are in absolute control on oil at this given moment. Daily downtrend, once daily downtrend confirmed here, they never look back. Other than this tiny megaphone here, another bear break. Right, the US dollar is probably pretty weak as bonds are moving up. Yep. So a little bit of a fake out here, but I talked about this over the weekend. I said this is more so like just a triple top. I didn't count this as a bull break. It's just too small of a break. You can see right when we break it, it just came back down. I didn't count that as a break. Yeah, daily downtrend still intact. Big move down, bounce, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And we are still in that tiny range. And you guys know I've been talking about this weekly equilibrium since probably months ago before it even formed. Big move up, big move down, big move up. I called it here saying that this is probably the top, and we're probably sending a tiny range. And I said that if we get a daily downtrend here, then that tiny range is gonna get more follow through. So which is probably happening right now. And we're probably just gonna tighten until we get that rate cut. So we'll see. Probably heads a little bit lower, and we'll see. Maybe it bounces a little bit, and then we get a rate cut, and next thing we know, we break out of that range in the bearish scenario. But we'll see. So longer term outlook for the dollar at the moment. All right, the gold here. Okay, not really doing much in the last 8 trading days. Pretty much just completely in range and not doing much. So we will just wait till it breaks out of this range. So we'll be looking at today's low and yesterday's low, and we'll be looking at Tuesday, the May 28th top. So pretty much just this level. Once it breaks to this level, then we'll know where it wants to go. If you get a bull break, maybe it will form that right shoulder, which is the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And that's a bearish pattern. So it's uptrend into a downtrend, and we'll see if that forms. Or we just get a bear break right here, and then it will come down and test the low of this little structure here. So we'll likely get some support at 2282. That flushes through, then we're probably looking back down at 2200, closer to this range. But we need to break out of this one first. All right, let's see. Got silver. Silver here is definitely weaker for sure. It was outperforming. So silver is one where it outperforms for a while and then it underperforms. So you can see both ways, is more volatile on both ways. We're outperforming here as well on this bounce. You can see gold barely bounced and silver almost made a new all-time high again. But on the drop, it's also weaker. So yeah, we got a big drop here. And we didn't even hold 29.78, which is the prior resistance. I'm looking down probably closer to this level, closer to $29. If we break through that, I'm looking at the black line, which is this prior equilibrium breakout zone, which would be closer to this 28.2. Break through that, and we're looking at 27 range, 0.3-ish area. It really depends on where gold's going to break out of this range, right? If gold goes bull and it forms that right shoulder, then we'll get a little bit of relief bounce from silver as well. But as of now, we have to really look at gold, which way it wants to break out of this range. All right, that's got it for you guys. If you guys got any questions, for the comment below. And yeah, I will see you guys probably on Thursday. Or if not, I'll definitely see you guys on the weekend for more updates. And yeah, feel free to support the channel and comment below if you guys have any questions. All right, I'll see you guys around.